Yeah, hello, my name's Gary. I'm just a worker. Yeah, getting tired of the car studio. Got to figure out thumbnails, editing, titles, description, keywords. Got to figure out what category am I in. But I still feel like, so I can say I said it. Confront the various things because it's important for me to present locally first. I want to get a lot of this stuff out of the way. The things that might be construed as negative first. I said my critical viewpoint of the labor management relationship, justifying why I go along with it because of the greatest spiritual experience of my life. Yeah, then I'm talking about I'm focusing on several things, and not all of them are negative, but the things that were repeated patterns. Like I said, the folks telling me, referring to all the shit I talk around here, which I wasn't exactly sure, but I tried to cipher that one out here in front of y'all. There is another one more specific that more than any of the others matches a pattern. It occurred years apart. It's when the guys told me I was going to burn in hell forever. Yeah, I was raised in the church, Episcopalian Church, St. Mark's in Perry, Oklahoma. Yeah, I was what they called an altar boy. I participated in the service every Sunday, rang the bell before church. Went through a confirmation class when I was maybe 11, 12 years old. It was supposedly about confirmation is when I was declaring publicly I'm making a decision to be part of the church as opposed to, I guess, just being born in it. Yeah, I would, and just, a little background. These guys, I worked with them, different jobs, years apart. These two events took place, but I think we basically bonded because we was relatively young family men, had young families, was positive in general on a daily basis, was pretty much focused on work, trying to do the right thing, be dependable, trustworthy. We kind of went a little bit above and beyond on our jobs, so we bonded, we liked each other, bolstered each other in what we was doing, so we was friends, so over a period of time, when we got to talking more about our personal lives, I explained that, I did grow up in the church, both these guys was from small towns. They was deacons, looked like pushing for being preachers. I also explained this confirmation class in passing as generally indicative of my outlook or point of view. When I was 11 or 12, had the confirmation class, the preacher was talking, or the priest, it was Episcopalian church, talked about, the priest was teaching, the cross is a symbol of Christianity because Jesus was crucified on the cross. And just spontaneously, when I heard him say that, I said, well, if Jesus had been hung, would the hangman's noose be our symbol? He said, what? I repeated the question, which he ignored and moved on as if I had never said nothing. But just indicative of how my mind works. These guys were pushing this idea of being saved on me, and I said, well, I don't need to be saved. I've read and actually studied, especially by that time, much of the Bible, and the best parts in it. And I told them, Jesus was actually one of my favorite characters. I just wasn't worshiping him, much less this God of the Bible. But they'd keep pushing, and I don't remember the exact little routine that I went through. It was the same on both of them, something along the lines of saying, okay, so you say God created heaven and earth. He created man, put him on earth, gave him some rules to go by. Part of it was, you have to believe in him, to go to heaven when you die. If you didn't, you'd be consigned to burn in hell forever. And they're saying yes, yes, yes. And the bottom line was, I'd say, well, I can't worship no God like that. Something's bad is bad or wrong. More than likely I'd probably rebel against a God like that, and that's what got them started. Hollering about you're going to burn in hell forever. Part of the conversation would also be about, well, was Jesus bullshitting when he said, don't worry about what you're going to eat or what you're going to wear? Was he bullshitting about it'd be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get in heaven? It was all that just bullshit. And of course those questions never get answered or get justified some kind of way. You say, well, he wasn't really talking about us now, I guess. The things, but my fundamental view is, God, well, whatever name you want to put on it, all this here that we see in front of us, this earth and sky, the cosmos, trees, plants, animals, other humans, I can't see it as being an accident. I see it as being indicative of something far deeper, something far more vast, something far more powerful, beyond human comprehension, basically, and if it's God, if you want to use that word, God, I frequently say, the source of the universe, as a phrase, where did all this come from? Okay, so God. Of course, I believe in God. Of course, it's really not a matter of belief. It's apparent. God's not going to depend on whether I believe him or not. Some thought process. Another part is I can't be separate from God. So I don't need an intermediary. This is it. And basically, I see this is the spiritual world. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's manifest right here. There's nothing fixed. There's no central point. There's no source that is unchanging that we can see, that touches our senses. It's all ephemeral. The spiral galaxies is just as ephemeral as that whiff of smoke that you see when you light a match. It's just a momentary thing. All this is the spiritual world. If there's spiritual law is applied now. Just because it don't conform necessarily to our reason or logic or what we think it should be, this is it. And that's the gift, this life here. Yeah, this living, breathing moment. Yeah, there's more to go into and more things I have to say. I want to get I want to get a lot of this stuff out of the way so I can get more focused, locally and on the here and now, doing things, training, preparing for the future, trying to make our lives here and now, and particularly locally, as good as we possibly can in face of the catastrophic events that are in the process of unfolding now. Adios.